Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to take a moment to thank Al very much for your contribution to the channel. Al, thank you for your continued support. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks, certainly for me, when coming to terms with what narcissism is, how my life had been impacted by it, and how I was going to move forward and heal from that point on. I think for me, one of the biggest stumbling blocks was the fact that Trevor never loved me. It was all a facade, all an illusion, just all the product of a delusional, diabolical mind. I really struggled with that, and I want to talk about that today. I came to realize that the love was not real. All sorts of areas of thought started to open up. My mind was going in all directions. And one thing for me was I take intimate time that I spend with someone very personally. And the idea that I was expressing love to someone who wasn't loving me back really turned all of the intimate time that we spent together into a feeling of rape. I felt like I had been raped. I know many of you share this feeling, and there actually is a name for this. This is known as rape by deceit. When you openly express a physical form of love with someone based on a lie, this actually is considered a form of rape. Consent based on lies and misinformation is not consent at all. So, can narcissists love? Do they even have the capacity to love? Certainly, we've all asked that question throughout the relationship with the narc. And after a year and a half of nonstop research, I'm going to say absolutely no, they do not. They never had the capacity to love us. Now, with that said, they do have a range of emotion. They tend to be the darker, uglier emotions, hatred, envy, this sort of thing. They do, however, to some degree, love the supply. Now, they love the supply that we provide the way a junkie loves drugs. Now, most junkies are in a love-hate relationship with the drugs. In fact, many of them wish they didn't have to do the drugs, but they're kind of hooked and therefore have no choice. So it's a love-hate relationship. In as much as a junkie loves drugs, that is how a narcissist loves. I've also come to understand that the first time I told Trevor I loved him was a major turning point in his deranged mind. These are not words a narcissist wants to hear. In fact, I think many of you have experienced what I did, where when we first started dating and I was being love bombed, holy crap, Trevor just said, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, it was to the point I was actually like, whoa, dude, like we've been on 3 dates, I mean, this constant, relentless, I love you, I love you. It was a bit stomach turning to me, actually. And as the love bombing continued and I became trapped and entangled in that relationship, and I ultimately fell in love with him or was under some kind of mind control voodoo or some kind of trance. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I did have a feeling of love for him, or at least believed I did at that time. So I said it, and I'm telling you, I could see the look on his face. Everything changed in that very moment. Narcissists know exactly what they are. They know they're empty, dead meat suits packed full of shit. They know this. They understand. And they do believe themselves to be completely unlovable. They also distrust everyone. So when you're in a relationship with the narcissist, the narc believes they are unlovable and they don't trust you. So as soon as you say, I love you, you have absolutely confirmed in their twisted minds that you are untrustworthy, you are a liar, and there is no way in hell you actually love them. This is the turning point. And really from this moment on, from the first time you say, I love you, they are now planning the end of the relationship. And it can take years for them to dump and discard a victim. And there are many variables, around that time frame. Maybe you just turn a blind eye. Maybe you just keep sucking up their bullshit, as I did for 5 years. And I know many of you have sucked up a mountain of bullshit for much longer than 5 years. But if you're not exposing them, if you're not questioning them, if you're turning a blind eye, if you just get comfortable on the eggshells and the shit storm, if you just turn a blind eye to all their bullshit, they will continue in the relationship with you, but they already know it's going to end. So if you start questioning their behaviors, if you start discovering the lies and the infidelity, if you start questioning them about, money, things like this, they are then going to accelerate the departure and bring on the discard and the devaluing and the dumping all that much sooner. In the end, there we are, just busting our balls, doing everything we can to try and accommodate them, to try and make them feel loved, to try and create a stable home and stable relationship where they can feel nurtured and fostered. And all the while, you're busting your balls and they don't even love you. That can be really hard to take, including the feeling of rape. I will tell you other real bothersome feelings that I had was, well, I still have it, is that I wasted every minute of those 5 years. It's like those 5 years are gone, wasted, trampled, and I can never get them back. And I am 56 years old, and to be honest with you, I really don't feel like I had 5 years to just throw away, to be tortured by someone who didn't love me under the guise of love. The time, energy, money invested in this dead-end relationship, it's just absolutely frustrating. It's a major piss-off. Now, one of the things that's going to be overriding at all times is going to be the narcissist's dire, grave, desperate fear of abandonment. This fear of abandonment really triggers so much of their behavior because they don't believe they're lovable. They don't. Did you guys see that orb? Holy cow, that was a big one. They don't. These orbs just blow my mind sometimes, and I forget what I was talking about. Okay, so where were we? Okay, that was a really big orb. Sometimes it's very distracting, and I'll tell you, I have cut out, can you guys see these things flying everywhere today? Sometimes I've just cut out so much footage because of all these orbs. One day I'm going to have to do a video called Orb Bloopers. Okay, I've regrouped. So this overwhelming knowledge that the narc has, because this is very real to them. This isn't speculation. This is fact. They absolutely believe you're going to abandon them. Abandonment is their greatest fear. So now believing you're a liar because you've said that you love them, now believing that you can't be trusted, absolutely believing you're going to leave them, and this tremendous fear of you leaving them, rather than sit around and wait for what their twisted minds believe is imminent. They believe it's inevitable. It's absolutely going to happen in their minds. They just make it happen. And in many ways, it makes them feel powerful. We all know they're powerless, sniveling worms, but it does make them feel powerful because this tremendous fear has now been conquered by them. They can dump you, discard you, smear campaign you, and rewrite history in their own minds. This is definitely a power boost for them. And as we all know, extremely disempowering for the victim. Realizing Trevor didn't love me did two things for me. Initially, it hurt me very much, but in the end, it made me realize that I needed to let go, and there was nothing to let go of. I was letting go of nothing. There was nothing there, which made it a lot easier for me to kind of reconcile all of that and just let it go. Guys, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.